begin with breaking news. We are getting word from Donald Trump's campaign that he is okay after gunshots sounded near his location. The Trump campaign communications director has issued a statement saying President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. No further details at this time. Law enforcement sources say there was a shooting near Trump as he left his golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida. The U.S. Secret Service says it, in conjunction with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, is investigating a protective incident involving Trump that occurred shortly before 2 p.m. It, too, says the former president is safe. Two people reportedly exchanged gunfire outside of the golf course. The shooters were targeting each other, and the gunfire was not targeting Trump. The golf course was immediately locked down. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in Florida says there were no injuries. The White House says President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, the Democratic presidential nominee, have both been briefed and will be kept updated on the investigation. The White House adds it's relieved to know Trump is safe. The Secret Service came under fire after Trump survived an assassination attempt at a rally in July in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump was at that time shot in the ear. Both a bystander and the gunman were shot dead. All right, joining me now to talk more about this is Ken Gray, a former FBI agent. Ken, first of all, thank you for being here. Now, I want to ask, after everything we learned following that attempted assassination in Pennsylvania, how on earth is it that someone, whether targeting Trump or not, was able to get near him and fire a gun?
Hi, Renee. Glad to be with you. And that is an excellent question. You know, Secret Service has been under a lot of scrutiny since their failure to protect them there at Butler County in Pennsylvania 2 months ago. And so this incident coming on the heels of that shows that there still is problems there. Now, the gunfire that was reported today, just before 2 p.m., their local time, it may not have been associated with the president. It may not have been aimed at the president, but nonetheless, it occurred in his vicinity. Consequently, it was a threat to the president, whether it was aimed at him or not. And so Secret Service is already under great scrutiny right now, and this just adds fuel to the fire in that case.
Now, the U.S. Secret Service says it is investigating a protective incident involving Trump. What does that mean, protective?
So the protectee is former President Trump, and the protective incident means that it occurred in the vicinity of a protectee, and their primary responsibility is the protection of that protectee, and their number one task is to get the protectee out of the area to make sure that he remains safe. And so now they are doing the follow-up. They are working with local law enforcement to try to find out what actually happened and to see whether or not there is a federal violation here with an assault on the former president. Of course, if it were an assault on the president, it would then shift from Secret Service over to the FBI as federal agency responsible for that investigation. But right now, they're trying to figure out what actually happened and whether it was directed at the president. But the number one thing is that President Trump is safe.
Does this mark another failure on the part of the Secret Service?
We will have to see what the details are. I mean, if the incident occurred that close to President Trump, then it does look like this could fall into that category. But it depends upon how far apart the president was and where this gunfire took place. They were saying in the vicinity. He was in the process of leaving the facility. Whether this occurred, 100 yards away or a quarter mile away, we haven't learned yet. It's hard to draw these types of make these types of decisions based upon the limited amount of information we have at this point. So it does take a while to get those details, and as those details become apparent, then you can see whether or not they need to have blame affixed to the Secret Service, or if it was just one of those incidents happened that they had no control over.
Ken, we're getting a few more details coming in. We have not independently confirmed this, but there is a report that the suspect who shot at former President Trump and Secret Service agent returned fire. Okay, let me repeat that. A suspect reportedly shot at former U.S. President Trump, and a Secret Service agent returned fire near Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. A suspect reportedly shot at former U.S. President Trump. Again, we have not confirmed that. This is just a report that is coming in. Can I get your reaction to that?
So in an incident like this, you have all kinds of information that is flying around. Some of it's true, some of it is not true. This is that first time I've heard this report. You know, this incident occurred at around 2 o'clock, and we have been hearing up until this time that this was a gunshot that was heard in the vicinity. Then it became a gunshot that was heard in the parking area there. I would want to have confirmation on that before I start making any type of analysis based upon that. That's the first report I've had of this.
Yeah, we don't know either. These are, of course, as you say, you know, reports are going to be coming in very quickly after this. So, I mean, what does this mean going forward for Trump's public appearances?
So again, if this was not directed at President Trump, if this was something that happened in the vicinity and had nothing to do with President Trump, then you should make no inferences towards the safety of the president, no inferences towards the protection detail for the president, other than the fact that this occurred in the vicinity. However, it was directed at him. Then, of course, it does have great implications as to what the security posture should be for him. I would want to see more details before we go down that rabbit hole.
Now, Trump, thankfully, is okay. What will officials be doing now? What's the next step in the investigation here?
Secret Service #1 rule is to get the protectee away from whatever the threat, and they did that, and he is safe. So now they are following up with local law enforcement to try to find out details about the shooting itself. They're engaged in that investigation. And we will see activity on the part of Secret Service, activity on the part of the FBI, and a lot of activity on the part of local law enforcement in this case. But of course, anything right now concerning any type of threat or potential shooting of President Trump is going to really become an international incident. And so you'll see a lot of interest in this. There's going to be a press conference that will be held here shortly, and that press conference should give us some of these details that we don't know yet.
And we will be watching for that press conference, and of course, we'll bring it to our audience. Ken Gray, thank you very much for being here with us today.